Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to Market Mondays. Hopefully, you guys had a great holiday, I guess, over the New Year's and were able to celebrate. I was in bed by 10. So, I've experienced all the whole New Year's bash, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna sit in on this one. But I want to give you guys a quick update on everything that's happened in the last week and what's expected to happen this week. So this will be our first Market Mondays of 2026. Can't believe I'm saying that right now, but it's going to be an exciting one because we really don't know how the market's going to go with everything that's happening with Venezuela, everything that's happening with the current presidency, the what's going on with the unemployment rate, so many things. But before I get right into it, I'm going to do a quick dad joke. Dad joke today is, what do you call a row of rabbits jumping backwards? A row of rabbits jumping backwards. A receding hairline. Receding hairline. Get it? Pew, pew. All right. So getting right into it. Over the last week, for the most part, not a whole lot has changed over the last week, especially with the holidays. But what was nice is that mortgage rates did improve over the last couple of weeks, especially since the Fed lowered rates. Now, if you guys been following me and you guys been seeing the charts, you've seen proof that just because the Fed lowers the Fed funds rate doesn't necessarily mean mortgage rates lower. In fact, over the last the last six Fed cuts they did, only one time did mortgage rates lower, and that was the one in December. Now, the other thing that came in December was inflation came in lower and the unemployment rate came in higher. Basically, between November and October, the unemployment rate combined went up another 0.2%. So basically 0.1% per month, which is a pretty steady increase if you ask me. So what's expected to happen this week though? This week is jobs week. So we're going to get a lot of the unemployment data for the first time on time since September. So it's going to be an interesting news week because there's a couple of things to kind of think about when we get the jobs report week this week. The main thing is that holidays. Typically, the start of the holidays is really around right before Thanksgiving, all the way up until New Year's Day, basically. How does this impact the jobs data? Well, when it comes to the jobs data, a lot of people might be doing a lot of gig work. They may not be filing for unemployment benefits. People who were on unemployment benefits may not continue to file for unemployment benefits. So for the most part, this report that we're getting is going to be for the month of December, which may not going to be a whole lot of change if we consider the timing and all the consideration of the seasonal work. So we might see unemployment rate may stay the same. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. So that's going to be an interesting factor. And what's important about that unemployment rate coming out on Friday is that the Fed is going to make a decision on how they're going to if they're going to cut rates this month or not. That's the main thing. If they see the unemployment rate go up to 4.7, there's a very high chance that they may cut the Fed funds rate by another 0.25% at the end of the month. And then we get a lot of more news data. Wednesday, we get the JOLTS report, kind of gives an idea of how the job openings. JOLTS stands for job openings and labor turnover. And then Thursday, we kind of get to see what the jobless claims looks like, both initial and continuing jobless claims. So we'll see how the jobs market goes. I'm not going to be very surprised if the numbers roughly are about the same, or there's really not a lot of information that changed from December to now. But one big important piece of information that's going to happen at the end of this month is that what's going to happen with the whole decision that they had at the government shutdown, right? So the whole budget that they set for the healthcare system and everything like that was set to expire at the end of this month. So if both parties don't figure out what they're going to do moving forward for a long-term solution, that might be an issue because in February we may be facing another shutdown. So I hope that they're not trying to beat records there, because we were just in like a 46-day shutdown, and that was the longest shutdown since the last one, or since all the other shutdowns. So something to prepare for as far as clients go. So if I was in a position of a client buying a house or something like that, and they're going to close within the next 30 days or something like that, I'd say maybe consider locking this week over the next 30 days, so that at least around Friday to see how the unemployment rate goes, and then from there, maybe that's the decision making point, is to go ahead and lock maybe, but that's just a recommendation. It's not like you have to do it. So but it's an idea to kind of take a look at what rates do on throughout this entire week, from Wednesday, Friday, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Each of those days are going to have some kind of an impact on mortgage rates. So there's the risk is that it could get worse. That's always the risk, right? But the main thing is that it could also get better. So that is a risk that you and your clients need to talk about, or you yourself are in the process of closing, or if you're in the process of just trying to see where rates are going. That's kind of like if you guys have been following me, that's the decision making point, is trying to figure out what's inflation doing and what's the unemployment rate doing. Inflation going down, unemployment rate going up. Typically that means mortgage rates are going to get better, one of those two or both. So but that's about all I got for you guys this week. Not a whole lot of news, but right now I'd say if we're gonna if I was just going to share my screen to kind of give you an idea of how mortgage rates have trended, we're at a really low point right now, which is a good thing, especially for government rates, which typically are for FHA, VA, USDA. The blue line is for conventional. So if we zoom back out, I'd say we're in the 12-month low, honestly. The last time we were even lower than that was back in September of 2024. So we're for sure trending there more, I guess, steadily in that direction, which is a really good sign. This is steady progress. This one was very, very fast. So the faster it goes down, the faster it goes up. That's how I always see things. The more steady it is, the more steady it'll go down, and more solidified it is. So I'd say right now we've been the lowest we've been since last September. I'd say the lowest in the last 12 months. If we're doing the math, 14, 15 months, we're at a 15-month low, which is a good sign. So I hope it all works out for the better throughout this rest of the year, especially for those who are looking to refinance and get a better rate. So otherwise, that's all I got for you guys today. Nuke out.